What is going on, everybody? Beautiful Friday morning here. The Longhorns play Oklahoma tomorrow. I did not intentionally wait till Friday morning to make this video, just kind of how the week worked out. I do want to hit on a couple things today. I do want to briefly touch on the TCU game. I am not somebody who is going to sit and harp on a loss. I'm not going to sit here and, beat a dead horse talking about, the mistakes here and there. Things like that. There are a couple positives that I want to hit on, things that stood out to me. But in general, when the Longhorns lose on this channel, what you're going to hear from me is a bit of a take a step back, big picture perspective. Where does the Longhorn program stand? Where do we stand in the Big 12? Those type of things. And then I do want to kind of touch on Oklahoma just a little bit. I do feel like this is a bit of a trap game for Tom Herman as far as the fans' perspective is concerned. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So let's start it off. We lost to TCU again on Saturday. Tom Herman and Sam Ehlinger combined have only beat TCU once. For whatever reason, we can't out coach. There were a couple things that stood out to me that were positive. I think Mike Yurchich, hopefully I'm saying his name correctly, added a really nice wrinkle to the game plan. What we did was we took our slot receiver and we put him really far out wide, kind of to the boundary, and then motioned them inside. It does kind of two things. It helps spread out that Gary Patterson defense, gave Sam more space to read what the coverage was, and then the pre-snap motion does kind of force the TCU defense to show their hand pre-snap. This wrinkle, this motion, is what got Jake Smith into the end zone on his one touchdown. Jake Smith might have scored on another very similar play. They just ran it from the left side. Jake Smith was wide open over the middle of the field. There was hardly anybody around him, and he dropped the ball. I thought it was a really good wrinkle, really good game plan. There was the Brendan Eagles play where he kind of curls up next to the linebacker. The two inside receivers both run the safeties off, and the Brendan Eagles, kind of releases past the linebacker, catches an easy pass, walks into the end zone. I think game plan offensively was really good. I don't think you can really look at the coaching staff and put too much on them for what we saw Saturday. There were a lot of drops by the wide receivers. The flags and the penalties were ridiculous. We won't even get into that too much. I think momentum alone, as a fan, it was hard to kind of get into the game just because of all the stoppages and all the, we'd have a big play and have to bring it all back. I mean, I couldn't imagine, being a player, and that all the penalties probably just added to less focus and more penalties. And it wasn't just the Longhorns either; it was both teams. I mean, it was a rough Saturday overall. And then the second really positive thing that stands out to me, Keandre Coburn right now is playing at a really, really high level. I would say this guy is on the trajectory to being a first-round draft pick if he were to decide to leave for the NFL this year after this season. It's very rare you see 340-pound big boys who are hustling and making plays after the line of scrimmage. They are, getting out there and, tackling running backs, tackling wide receivers 5-10 yards down the field. And then from what I've seen, he's just been absolutely unblockable in the run game. I think he had 11 tackles versus TCU, which again, from a defensive tackle spot, a 340-pound big boy, I mean, that's unheard of. After the loss to TCU, there's been a lot of conversation, regarding, is it time to move on from Tom Herman? I would just kind of, like to go on record and saying I am fully in support of Tom Herman, of the coaching staff, of what I'm seeing as far as the progression that the program is taking. You look at some of the things like the locker room that Tom Herman has built, the south end zone getting filled in. These things are Tom Herman's doing. I know as a Texas fan, I love that I am a fan of a team with expectations that are through the ceiling. I love that about the Longhorns. At times we have to, understand some of these things take time. Clemson's a great example. Dabo Swinney, that was not overnight success at Clemson. Really only Nick Saban at Alabama recently has had, your kind of overnight success. I guess you could say Urban Meyer at Ohio State was another kind of recent. He took over a good football team and never stopped winning. I do think the program is headed in the right direction. I do think we are, we've always recruited well. I think we are developing well. I think we're finally starting to get guys in the NFL. You look at this last draft class, multiple guys got drafted. That was huge. We have a lot of, seniority upperclassmen on the roster right now. Guys who, like Keandre Coburn, like Sam Ellinger, who are going to go on to the NFL. Obviously we want to win every game. The expectations are high. But I do believe in this coaching staff. I do believe in Tom Herman. I think we are going in the right direction. The Longhorns tomorrow will be taking on Oklahoma. This is, in my opinion, a trap game for Tom Herman. As far as the fans are concerned, as far as the fan base, the boosters, whatever you want to call it, the perspective of the people who care about the Longhorns. Oklahoma is down right now. They've lost 2 in a row. We're coming off 2 shaky weeks. We did beat Tech, but we did lose to TCU. I kind of have this feeling where, if we beat Oklahoma, it'll be expected, right? It'll be one of those, the positive gained from beating Oklahoma will be way less than the negative gained if we were to lose to Oklahoma. I'm having to look away from the fire Tom Herman stuff right now. Waking up Sunday morning if we were to lose to Oklahoma would be, I don't even know if I'd be able to look at Reddit or Facebook or anything like that. It would be catastrophic for Tom Herman's career here at the University of Texas, especially with the expectations that we had coming into the year. And then that, kind of is another point to why I am in support of Tom Herman. One of the reasons, we came in with really high expectations this season was because of what we have seen from Tom Herman and Sam Ellinger both. We've seen 10-win seasons. We've seen New Year's 6 bowl wins. We've seen some positives, and you look at a coach who's been here for 4 years. You look at a 4-year starting quarterback, and we're putting the pieces together and hoping for a really successful season. And so obviously when you don't live up to expectations, there's going to be backdraft from the fans. There's going to be negative feedback from the fans, and we're hearing it. We're hearing it on the radio station. Just about anywhere you look. I am excited for this game on Saturday. I mean, obviously excited. I think this is finally one of those down years for Oklahoma. Coming into the season, I was really curious. This is the first quarterback, while Lincoln Riley has been the head coach, that he has had to recruit and develop on his own. Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, and Jalen Hurts were all transfers. So Rattler is the first guy that has been recruited, came in, redshirted. He's a freshman again. And now all of a sudden, people act like Oklahoma didn't have any weapons. And I know, CeeDee Lamb leaving and all that. Oklahoma was plenty deep last year. The difference is they don't have a quarterback who's getting the job done. So I am excited. They've been shaky on defense for a couple years. Hopefully we can show up and not shoot ourselves in the foot and get in our own way. And I think if we do that, I think we're going to be just fine. This could be a really big win for the Texas football team. Our season is not over yet. I know nobody wants to hear that. But as far as competing for a Big 12 championship, that is still out there. We still control our destiny here. Losses are hard to take in college football. You lose one, and the chances of being a college football playoff team are almost out the window. You lose 2, and now you may not even be able to compete for the Big 12. But I hope that we will be able to correct some of the penalties and things that we saw, some of the penalties, some of the drop passes, some of the very fixable, mistakes. We've heard those words before, from Tom Herman. But I do think that we will show up and show out on Saturday, and we will beat Oklahoma. All right, everybody, that's it for me today. I'm excited for Saturday, like I said. Appreciate y'all checking out the channel. Y'all wouldn't mind, throw us a like, throw us a subscribe. My buddy Justin is making Cowboys content too, so a little, there's some double dip action there. You got Longhorn stuff from me, you got Cowboy stuff from him. Saturday's gonna be fun regardless. I hope, hopefully it's a good game. Hopefully Longhorns come out on top. So hook 'em.